We have also this evening, ladies and gentlemen, lodged written a letter, we should say, to the Supervisor of Elections in respect of a number of matters which we believe need to be addressed by the Supervisor of Elections. They are to do essentially with the conduct of political parties, including the conduct of Fiji Sun. They have, as you know, with a much stated or publicized statement made by Harun Ali Shah regarding false statements that government no longer calls for tenders, and that it simply gives the tenders, or doesn't even call for tenders, gives it to whoever they wish to. We have already lodged a complaint about that and asked the Supervisor of Elections to look into that. We've asked the Supervisor of Elections to look at the public opinion polls on the general elections that have been run by Fiji Sun. We had verbally made a number of representations to the former publisher, Peter Lomas. Unfortunately, he's not in the world today, but we've despite those representations, we see that Fiji Sun is carrying out these polls without any proper methodology, and nor is it being transparent, nor is it giving where the samples have been taken from, and obviously it's giving very skewed results, which has a bearing on the general elections itself. We've asked the Supervisor of Elections to look into that. We've also, for example, lodged an issue with the compliance with the campaign rules by SODELPA, where a number of promises have been made, but they have not stated where they'll get the funding from. They have said they'll build various hospitals, etc., but they've not said where they'll get the funding from, nor have they said where they'll necessarily cut expenditure from. That is not in compliance with the law, we believe. And also the fundraising activities, in particular by National Federation Party and the People's Alliance Party, where there are a lot of fundraising dinners have been held, not just in Fiji, but also overseas. The money trail is very hard to detect, because people can simply turn up to these dinners. We don't know who's actually buying the tickets. We want to know whether the records are actually being kept. We can have also, we've been informed that some businesses have actually been funding these dinners, giving monies to individuals, and that's how you can actually clean money, or indeed sometimes you can launder money. So we've raised these issues. We've sent copies of this in the interest of transparency, because we believe in transparency. We have just emailed the letter that we've sent to the Supervisor of Elections to all those people who we have mentioned in the letter to the Supervisor of Elections. We've sent to the Fiji Labour Party, the acting publisher Fiji Sun, National Federation Party, People's Alliance Party, and SODELPA. And Harun Ali Shah has not got the letter. We've obviously sent it to his political party, but we hope to send him a separate email also tomorrow morning in the interest of transparency. We believe that all of the laws need to be adhered to if we truly want free, fair and credible elections. We cannot have people selectively adhering to the rules of the elections, selectively adhering to the laws that in fact have been laid out to ensure that there's credibility. We cannot have different political parties, for example, sourcing funds from individuals or even businesses when it is not allowed. We cannot have people making promises to members of the public and promising them, pie in the sky stuff when they have not accounted for as to how they will fund those particular promises. There's a requirement under the law. We cannot have people, for example, saying that government does not follow the tender processes when clearly under the law they actually have to follow the tender processes. And that is very clearly laid out. And we have people making such blatant comments in respect of government processes, and it does affect, of course, confidence. It does undermine people's confidence in the system, in the governmental system. There's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of disinformation. I would like to also point out that there is a difference between an opinion and when you actually give factually incorrect statements. So there is, for example, a Fiji Procurement Office. There is a requirement under the law that tenders need to be called. And if people then stand up and say tenders are not being called, then obviously it is not true. However, one can stand up and say that we think that this person is not credible. That's the opinion. We are not saying that they cannot be said. That is fine. That's the opinion. People can say that this government is not good. That's their choice. Or people can say this government is wonderful. That's their opinion. But when people blatantly tell lies about laws, for example, whether it's Act 22 of 21, when people tell blatantly lies about government processes that is laid out in the law, then that is highly highly irregular, and that is in fact against the law. That's in our opinion. And so we have sent that to the supervisor of elections. We've sent that to him this afternoon. And similarly, as we said, as we are speaking, it's also being sent to the individuals or the entities that have been named in this particular letter of ours to the supervisor of elections.